Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Welcome. Sorry for exactly on time, but sorry for the cameras. We just got together on Skype, so the captures are a bit iffy. Nonetheless, welcome back to Hoard of the Dragon Queen. Whew, it's been a long time since we've done this, and the actual campaign I'm talking about.
Intermission adventure, is it?
This is not intermission.
Like
Intermission. Yes, this is the main. This is the main adventure that we have not done for some time. So we're back here. We're back. For those wondering what's happening with Brad here, Brad is here because he is an amazing person and is replacing Robert for a couple more weeks as Robert's work related issues are still, or issues like assignments. I'm not sure what he's actually doing. Is going to be wait for about 1 or 2 more weeks. So that's what's kind of happening. That's what Brad is going to be with here us today. And Brad, for those who don't know who you are, what's up?
Hello, I am Brad Waiter. I stream some stuff. Sometimes I stream D&D. I'm a bit of a noob, so please bear with me when you suddenly pull out some sort of hardcore dragon slaying move and I'm like, guys, sorry, I don't know what that means. Could you explain it? But mostly I'll just hit. I have a character which is very proficient with a shield, so I'm just going to help out. I'm just going to help you guys stay alive until your other member comes back.
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
There we go. So, guys, it's been a lot of time since we've done this, so why don't we go through a quite extensive background check of the campaign here and see what happened during all of the episodes of Hoard of the Dragon Queen. I have the book open right in front of me, so let's talk about what happened, kind of each episode. So, first episode was you guys just walking into your hometown, being burned down by a dragon and raided by the court of the dragon. Well, at first you fought bandits, but you later figured out what was happening. Eyesight, you had a very scarring experience that first week.
Wasn't the last time, but I managed to get my character killed in the first session, which is always fun. I feel like I can kind of attribute this to a bit of bad luck with the 5E death saving throws, and you know, it gets pretty harsh at times for me in this whole campaign. But yeah, so we go in the town, we're like fighting all these kobolds.
By the way, your camera froze.
I mean, you get that here,
Yeah,
right?
no problem. It's cool. Oh, and just a reminder for people, this is random.
It'll fix itself soon.
Yeah, change your names in order to your actual character names now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, no problem. Continue on.
Not,
You can do that later.
yeah. So killing a bunch of kobolds, then this half dragon kind of challenges us to fight over the rights, like to kind of save a bunch of people, or else he's going to kill them if we don't fight him one-on-one. So I take up the offer as well as another character, but I managed to roll poorly on my death saving throws and end up dying like that.
Yeah, the half dragon you waited faced on, but before we jump to there, you guys actually did save the city. You saved the temple, actually broke down the back door, managed to save everybody inside. Most of the population was either dead in the forest, in the fortress that was pretty heavily guarded, so that was quite safe. But the temple itself was being set ablaze. So you guys managed to defeat the guards, get the people back into the fortress, and actually save the day at the end with a bold, very bold move from Rostani, which is Simon's character. She cast a illusion spell of a gold dragon and managed to scare away the blue dragon attacking the fortress by the party damaging him, and him thinking that there is a bigger threat than the party itself, using his breath weapon, his most effective weapon, on something else that was completely an illusion. Did no damage whatsoever. So you guys actually kind of defeated a dragon in your first session. You did quite well. After that, we jump to episode 2. After the fight, you met a half-elf monk. Sorry, the disciple of a half-elf monk. That told you that his master had been captured while trying to infiltrate the Cult of the Dragon, and that if there is somebody who knows the most about this organization, it's him. So you've been kind of tasked by the mayor, but also in your own quest for revenge. For example, Rostani's shop in the city was burned, and everybody else in the party currently was a dweller of Greenest, which is the name of the town, which I think is on the map somewhere. Yes, it is actually on the map down below over on here. And you guys went to the raider camp, the camp where all the loot gathered from the neighboring raided villages had been brought to. What happened at the raider camp, Justin?
What happened to the raider camp? I will tell you what happened to the raider camp. Brutus saved the day. No, really. So we managed to sneak into the raider camp disguised as acolytes of Tiamat. We found the monk who had been kidnapped by them, who had been studying them, and whose information was invaluable, and he needed to be rescued. And we successfully managed to sneak him out the back way by climbing a cliff. We didn't manage to save any of the other captured slaves, unfortunately. Brutus is still not happy about that. And we got back to the town safely.
Yes, and
Greenest.
you got back to Greenest. Yeah, and
I was rewarded with splint mail.
The guard,
those were the
the
days.
monk told you about what's happening with the Dragon Cult and tasked you with another mission to go and find out what was up in the caves in the raider camp, mentioning some type of dragon hatchery. He was not quite sure, but what you know is that in that night over on there, you saw everybody that would later play an amazingly important part in the campaign. In one night, you met all the leaders of the Dragon Cult. You saw the human, the high priest, wearing those purple robes and so decorated that everybody stepped out of his way. You saw the half-dragon Resmir, the black half-dragon, that is still a part of the current campaign. And you saw Cyanraf, the half-dragon, the blue half-dragon, that you later defeated during the campaign, but first he managed to kill Isai's first character, Alistair Crowley. I think.
Don't.
I
What was it?
it was Crowley. It was something with
It was
Crowley.
something Crowley. It was
Yes.
Hannibal Crowley. It was like
Hannibal.
it was a really
Hannibal
bad name,
Crowley.
and there was tons of jokes about like how it was a paladin with like a dark name. But yeah.
And you guys decided to go back to the Dragon Hatchery. This was a very cool encounter. And Isa, do you remember anything about the Dragon Hatchery?
Pretty sure my second character died in there.
Yes.
If
It was the third session, so your second character survived 2 sessions.
yeah, just 2, improving I guess as it goes along. But yeah, there was a meat monster in there somewhere. Not
So
really,
that
but
was
like
a roper.
a roper, that's the one.
Actually, we can jump to the map real fast because it's still here. And I
But
think
it's-
that
no,
will...
it's, I think it's covered in digs.
even if it's covered with dicks, it's gonna be... I can... Oh, wow!
Yeah, it's covered
Oh, wow! Wow, that's an impressive amount of dicks, even for you, Isai. Even for you.
That is the top. That is top level of comedy. Just
10 out of 10
Dougal
would
penis.
definitely play this again.
So much
The story
penis.
behind this is that I think I was drawing something on one of the maps, and Chucky's like, "No, you're going to this map every time you draw something better on the map." So, in my tired state, I decided
While he was in
that
purgatory.
it would be fun to draw a series of crude images on this map.
Wow, I think you never thought we'd see this again.
I didn't think so either.
Okay, so this is the Dragon Hatchery, if you guys remember correctly. You walked down this very path, got ambushed by cultists. This way down over on here got started to get attacked by vile violet fungi that almost killed you. You decided then to go the other path and ignore this first path. You fought cultists. You fought every manner of creatures in these, from guard drakes to giant mosquitoes and actually berserkers and half dragons and dragon cultists. In the end, you defeated them all. To even find the dragon eggs that were hidden in this room down over on here. And 2 of them you smashed together. 1 survived till a later date, but was also smashed. And you found this meat monster over on here, which you disposed of without actually fighting it. And survived it in the end. But only 1 character died that whole session. In this room over on here that was lined with
sessions.
a poison... 2 sessions, was it?
Yeah, but
2 sessions.
It's all the same from like back then. But so yeah, I missed the trap. I think you told me a 1 later. I rolled a 14 and I needed 15
Yeah,
to find it.
15 was... I think 15 was
yep.
it.
And then the poison, like there was poison coming from the ceiling and it knocked me unconscious and I had to roll death saving throws. And pretty much I needed to lose out. It was 3 turns before I think Brutus could... 4 turns before Brutus could get to me. So I needed to kind of hold out for 4 turns with the death saving throws, which is a pretty good odds. But I decided to roll 2 1s instead and just die.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. So next night after that, he came back from the dragon hatchery, told the half-elf monk what happened. He told you he would meet you later on in your journey, gave you a mission to infiltrate the caravan that left with all the loot from the dragon hatchery to make it to the secret place where the dragon cult stashed all of the valuables. So you went on the epic journey from Baldur's Gate to another part of the map that I can't remember. It's actually a Waterdeep. There we go. Waterdeep, one of the most legendary cities in the Forgotten Realms, and I forget it. Okay, and you guys, I think, went on a full month journey towards Waterdeep, which is over here on the map. And that was quite an adventure. Justin, what happened on the road to Waterdeep?
Oh my god. On the road to Waterdeep, we had a great party in, I think it was Daggerford.
Yes, or at least close. No, it was
Close,
before.
closer.
It was before the
I
Ice Ice
missed
birthday
her.
came in.
I miss
Alright.
Perk so bad. We
Oh,
if we
yeah,
get
that
some
was
time,
after
we
her.
have
That
to-
was
we
after
have
We
to-
made a friend. That's right. On the road to Waterdeep, we made a friend. We were attacked by freakish birds, and then we were attacked by some ogres, and we killed all but one of the ogres, and the other ogre surrendered, and we became his friend. And Herc was our loyal companion from that day onward until we abandoned him somewhere. I don't remember.
I think he's
It was
still in
it's the lizardman.
I think he's still
All right.
I mean, he's in good, I think he's in good hands, right? He's with the lizardman.
No,
Yeah.
the lizard men were looking for him, but he actually wandered off into the swamp when we weren't looking,
Oh.
and we haven't been able to find him
He might
since,
just be
which
dead.
is
He might just be
awkward.
straight up dead.
Or he might be the Hulk of the swamps. Who knows?
yeah.
I
Maybe,
mean-
maybe we've transplanted someone into an environment where they have no natural predators, and
You
I
killed
heard he just
you
fine.
killed the last natural predator. You killed like the most powerful monster in the swamp.
The shambling
I
man
heard he like
with
dressed
leaves.
himself up in like leaves and stuff. So like Herc would just put like a disguise of leaves on and pretended to be a shambling mound and like
The shambling
ended
mound is
up
such a
fighting
joke.
and killing him.
If you
And
have
so-
any form of crowd control, you can just hit it up from a distance.
Yeah, that
we
monster
re-
was so funny.
we rescued a secret agent of the Harpers from being buried alive at a crossroads. And then we eventually... And we did not manage to find out anything interesting about the cultists or stop them from transporting the wealth that they need for their secret plan, which we still...
Oh, actually, no. It was not your it was not your objective to stop them.
well, no, but it was our objective to figure stuff out, and we didn't. All we did was follow them and kept following them and following them. And
No,
following
your
them
objective
and
was
following
to
them.
follow them.
And
It's
then
like
Brutus had dreams about killing them.
your optional,
many dreams.
your kind of optional thing was to figure out more stuff, and you did figure out more stuff as you went on. They had magical items. You figured out where one of their main supply lines is. Finally, making it to Waterdeep, And in Waterdeep, you found out even more that a lot of more powerful players are involved in this. And I think, Justin, you had a very good feeling of what was happening. So, you remember? Do you remember Waterdeep?
Do I remember? Yeah, I remember Waterdeep.
Come on,
You
come.
want me to do Waterdeep too? Okay.
I want to do Waterdeep because I liked your theory on what happened there when you saw all the variables in the story.
So, first of all, in Waterdeep, we went and competed in an arena and we won because I was there. So, this is just Brutus's character.
I see it like that too, Justin. I see it like that too.
Also, Brutus finally got plate mail.
After
Brutus's
begging
quest
begging
mail was
from
fulfilled.
begging for money from mom and dad, literally.
All right.
I had my first like really salty moment after that arena.
That's true.
What happened? Oh yes.
So you even have to
That's-
ask, you bastard.
I completely forgot I
I'm
robbed
still
you.
angry with you. Dad.
You got drunk and spiked, and your drink was spiked, and yeah,
That's right.
yes, the halfwings.
Yeah. Totally not DM Haxed bar where we drank.
By the way, I looked at how much invisibility potion was after that. They stole like half the money to fund those two invisibility potions. Because those
It's-
invisibility potions are really expensive
It's
compared to how much they
ridiculously
actually stole.
overpriced. It's ridiculously overpriced, but really good.
It was like, what?
Okay.
Well-
Chucky.
That presumably they expense that part out to the person who told them to the person who hired them, so it's fine. It was like it was still a net gain for them.
It was.
All right. So in Waterdeep, Waterdeep is a very top-down hierarchical society, and they don't really want other people trading through them. So basically, what they did was they forced all of the caravans that wanted to continue going north into their own wagons with their own guards. And this put a huge damper on the Dragon Cult's plan to keep transporting their wealth. So we got hired as caravan guards in by one of the independent like mercenary outfits that have been supplying guards. And what was the other part? There was another critical piece.
Yes, you figure out a bit more about what is happening. It seemed like a lot of the Dragon Cult mercenaries, the guards, actually all of them, that came with the caravan up to Waterdeep, got hired by the same exact mercenary company. And further, there was a Karnath roadhouse, another roadhouse that basically led to the way to Neverwinter, because that's what you were supposedly doing. There were workers coming in and working on the road to Neverwinter, like from Waterdeep to Neverwinter. And you guys easily figured out that almost everybody at Karnath Roadhouse, besides short of the workers themselves, that had almost no part in it because they were only stopping by at the roadhouse itself for about 2 days after going on to the road again and working on it and then shifting with other workers. There was a half-orc that was in charge of the whole camp, carrying a sword with the dragon emblem on it. The only man in there that seemingly was not involved with this was a sergeant, a human sergeant. You never really quite figured out much about him, but in the end, it was good. You made friends with him after you guys.
Wasn't it in half-orc, Sergeant?
No. The half-orc was the leader of the Karnath Roadhouse, and
Yeah.
human sergeant was the one who led the mercenary company from Waterdeep to Karnath Roadhouse. Yes, and that guy is the only one who took your part in the events to come. So before we go forward and talk about this guy more, Isai, do you remember what happened at Karnath Roadhouse? Or Simon, if you want to jump in, feel free, if you've done with the level 7 things.
Fireballs.
I still need a little bit more time, so whoever wants to fill in.
Okay, Isai, do you remember what happened at Karnath Roadhouse, or do you want me to fill in?
Pretty sure Rustani brutally murdered people there.
No, that was after.
Fireball.
That you went into the Meal of the Dead Men, and that was after. First, what happened in the Karnath Roadhouse before the whole fireball incident?
I guess we were just kind of looking around for a few days, and we heard a few sounds from what appeared to be the storage room.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
like the crazy old food vendor. I wouldn't really call him a cook.
The cooking.
It was
Yeah.
it was pretty much a food vendor.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like sloppy joes, all that kind of thing. I guess. I guess that's what he'd kind of sell.
So, if I
Yeah,
remember,
he was kind of talking about the voices in his head coming from down below.
if I remember correctly, Ostani cast an invisibility spell on herself, waited until you, Isai, gave the half-orc leader of the roadhouse to store a necklace made out of pearls for you.
Wasn't a Nick? It was the head of.
Doesn't matter what it was. It was a valuable item. The head of a peloton. The idea is you came up with a very good ruse to do this. What happened was this storage unit was also a place where workers would store their own valuables, and this half-orc had a very organized ledger of everything that went in. So Rostani followed him in after Isai gave him this... what was your character's name then? If you remember? Lelouch, yes. Lelouch gave the half-orc this valuable to store, and Rostani got herself inside, figured out that a couple of crates were marked with a weird symbol, and a couple weren't. Couldn't figure out much else. Long story short, all of you decided that that was the way to go. You drugged, with the help of Lelouch's girlfriend, a halfling that accompanied you from Baldur's Gate, from Dragonford all the way to Waterdeep and to Carnath Roadhouse. You drugged the guards and managed to find a secret panel that was actually made of one of the crates, and if you tilted it over, it would open like a trap door. And you followed that path, eventually making it to the infamous Mere of the Dead Man. Now, this is where it all gets even more interesting. Justin, what happened when you guys went almost 8 or even more hours, no, sorry, a day and something, I think, through the tunnel to the Mere of the Dead Man?
It was wet. It was raining. No, it really was. It was raining. It was fucking annoying because we were trying to track the things that had done the delivery, and we couldn't. So we ended up staking out the tunnel for a while, and eventually they came back, and we ended up ambushing a bunch of lizard men. And that wasn't when we...
no, it was the other way around. It was the other way around.
They ended up ambushing us.
Yes.
We failed our perception checks.
Because Rostani decided to torture one of the humans.
I was fed up with this.
Oh no, that was the second time we went through the tunnel.
No, that's the first time. You went out of the tunnel, fought the first pack of wizardmen that literally were just coming in. So you kind of ambushed them at first. And after that, you stayed there in the tunnel to sleep. And during your sleep, Rostani... So continue on what you're saying, Simon?
Oh no, that was the second time. The first time we went through the tunnel, we did the ambush, and then we decided we had to walk back overland so that we could pretend we were hunting the whole time.
Okay.
When we got back, we ended up maybe fireballing everyone and killing all of the dragon cultists in a single round in horrible, fiery, instantaneous death. And then everyone was like, "Oh my God, what did you do? You murdered everyone! You're a bunch of murderers!" And they were hysterical. So we were like, "Fuck this!" And we abandoned our kind of secret ally to go spread rumors about the truth, so that we weren't painted as villains. And we kidnapped the remaining leader and tied his ass up and dragged him through the tunnel with us. And that was the second time we went through the tunnel. And then, unbeknownst to all of us, while we were sleeping, Rostani tortured him, and he was torturing him so badly, and he was screaming so loud that we all failed our perception checks to notice the ambush.
She specifically said...
and we almost died.
She specifically said, I torture him outside of any feasible, audible range for my party. So she went outside of the tunnel in the rain.
I have a reputation to uphold for my party. I can't do it. I can't just do that in front of them like that, you know?
She's the Fire Witch of Carnath Roadhouse. I mean, what do you expect her to do?
And that's another fight where Herc served us well, tossing javelins at people. I miss her.
So funny. I think I went down 4 times, perhaps, or 3
Yes.
times.
Yes.
Like, death saving throw, no, healing word,
You deserved it.
The most epic moment, I think.
Yeah, I think she was more humble, maybe after that fight for a while.
I think the most epic moment was Robert's moment. When he did about 2 crits and then 3 hits and his 5 attacks of a fighter, and I think cut down through 4 wizard men in the same round, which was pretty damn epic. Besides that, you guys went on to find the infamous place where they stashed all the loot.
I just like that infamous place.
So,
That we'd been before, right?
Castle Neritar.
Oh, there.
Yes, this is where we are. We're currently at episode 6. So we're a bit through it. We have episode 6 and another 2 episodes to talk about to finish up the recap. So, episode 6, Castle Neritar. This took a couple of sessions. You guys planned this quite thoroughly. So, who wants to do this one? Who wants to talk about Castle Neritar?
I'll do it. I really can't. I'm sorry.
Well,
It was a lie.
I mean, there was a lot of elements involved. I think, how many sessions did it take us? Like 5?
I think 4 or 5 sessions. It took you
Yeah, it was
quite a while, yeah.
crazy. But we were really careful because we couldn't.
To paint the picture, there were about 400 frogs, like frog
Yeah,
warriors, bullywugs present at the castle, so you couldn't really barge in. Also, there's a faction of about 50 or close to 100 if you count the ones inside as well, wizard men. And then the cultists as well, with the high priest inside.
So basically, what we did is like we discovered that the lizardmen was treated like shit. So we rallied them to our cause basically because they were very fed up with the bullywugs and the cultists like being assholes. And there was just like we had to prove ourselves several times because we were under suspicion. That was pretty fun. That was probably the funniest one.
Yeah,
When
you guys
the-
went into
the
a...
fire skulls guys.
Yeah, you figured out that, well, you went in and fought a couple of fire skulls, flame skulls actually,
Yeah.
and other ghosts, and waifs, if I remember correctly. And you found out that actually that room over on there is where most people that the head priest does not like are sent to deal with that problem, and they usually die. So what happened is you kind of paid that back to him. You brought the remains of the skulls. Funnily enough, Robert did not, as the cast member who's not here, actually did not even know the special ability of the flame skulls. As he brought the skulls down, after 1 hour, if you don't sprinkle holy water on them, they come back to life. And those flame skulls can cast fireballs.
Yeah.
So, after 1 hour, chaos ensues in the courtyard as fireballs are cast everywhere by the flame skulls, and the high priest can't really chastise you. So in the end, Lelouch convinces him not to execute you and just put you in prison for 1 night.
With a 31 on the roll, by the way. Thank you, Isai.
31
it's
on the
31 persuasion check.
That should have been like, oh no, you're not the ever. No, it's fine, guys. Like you couldn't know that. Like it's you know.
That's the same
have
as
some cookies, like that. You know, go to the kitchen, you know, rest up, whatever.
that
Not
is
like,
the
ah,
same
throw
roll
you in the dungeon.
that a level 20 would make without having like the special bard features. A
It
level
was quite-
20
it was
for
quite
Chucky.
fun.
A level 20 crit
Yeah, you
would make sense.
you just made it. You really saved the party there. Nonetheless, you spent a night in prison. Justin, somebody visited you in prison. Who was that somebody?
It was the wizard. Brutus isn't any better with names than I am.
Let's go. Just the wizard, the
It
red
was-
wizard of Fae.
The Red Wizard of Fae, who was
Asper
actually
Joss.
all about
Simon?
the Tiamat.
Simon?
Asper Joss.
10 out of 10. There you go.
Asparagus.
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 Asparagus Joss. He wasn't all about working for Tiamat. He was sort of a contractor who just wanted to know all the magical secrets that wizards had left behind in this castle. And he was like, well, if you pay me, it's like he was Breer Rabbit. He's like, oh, don't throw me into that briar patch. That's a good joke for the people who got it.
Nobody in here.
he ended up being a dick, so we murdered him. Yeah, that's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
he almost got away, but then we were like, no, and we fed his dead body to a bunch of giant frogs.
Jesus.
Yeah, and after a couple of days,
And we're not evil, by the way. We're the good guys in this world. Just putting that out there.
supposedly.
We're not murderers. We're adventurers.
Supposedly.
It sounds like a harsh world that I'm getting myself involved in.
Yes, you are.
I'm
Well, you're
coming
on our
from my
side, so you'll be
newbie
fine.
role.
Embrace the world of the murder hobos.
I mean,
I'll embrace it.
if you are on Justin's and Simon's side, you're okay. But if you end up being a Isai, then you're not really okay because you die about 4 times.
Oh, being an eyesight. Oh, so
Wait,
I can't roll
wait,
dead saving throws.
The
huh?
number of deaths, the number of character deaths by Isai will make a full party again.
I did an eyesight yesterday.
Oh, it will.
I did an eyesight yesterday. I rolled like 2 and a 1 on my death saving throws.
Oh wow, Ugh, that was
my,
horrible.
With my paladin. Another campaign.
I'm going to call it that for
Uh-huh.
my entire 5e career. Every time someone rolls a 1 on their death saving throw, I'll be like, you pulled an eyesight.
Yeah,
Thing is,
yeah.
Eyesight.
It wasn't like that in like other. Until you get to like the 10s, it wasn't like that in like the previous editions where you had to actually roll for it. Right? I'm not like. It was like you have like 10 hit points after 0. And then, like, if you get to like the later ones, you have to like, roll.
that
whatever to
was
save
the
place.
that was the 3.5 way, and the
I don't know.
Pathfinder way. I don't know if 4E how it was.
I think that the same as
It's
2E,
4e,
though.
that's the same as 5e.
So, you guys in the end did actually manage to rally the wizard to your cause. You destroyed stealthily all of the instruments that could be used to call out for reinforcements. And it took you maybe minutes to take over a castle filled to the brim with enemies. Your wizard men were armed to the teeth, and it was night. The wolves were mostly sleeping. You guys, with the help of stealth and visibility, and a lot of cold sleep spells, you managed to slit a drum, steal a bone horn, kill the leader of the Bollywugs, and then finally convince, by trial of battle, the last faction of the wizardmen that were not currently on your side, the ones that were personally trained by the High Priest, before the High Priest actually fled the scene, to join your cause. It was literally a scene where Justin's character was face to face with a giant. When I mean giant, I mean huge, like gigantic, 15 by 15 feet frog. And he fought it. He fought it for round after round after round, and it will not die. Justin was on the edge. Robert was already dead. Nobody was up awake besides Justin at that point, if I remember correctly. And he managed to kill the last one of these creatures. And the other wizard men dropped their weapons and joined your cause. You effectively took a castle.
That's what Brutus does. He's just always the one who holds out and comes through in the end.
Okay, so I said, what happened after the castle? Now we're almost to chapter 6, guys. Almost there.
We used power
Chapter
word
7.
teleport.
Yep.
We teleported to a.
You found a
Random
secret
other
word
place.
for a circle, a teleportation circle in the basement, and you teleported to a place deep, far away into the mountains, a place you've never been before. And that place is the Grey Peak Mountains. There, you had several ways to go, but you decided to pay a visit to the hunting lodge. And in that hunting lodge, Justin found a long friend. A long lost friend. Actually, a friend from the 3rd episode, from the Dragon Hatchery. Justin, How did that happen? It was a pretty unique scene.
I'm not sure if I'd qualify them as a friend.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not a friend. You know what the DM means by friend. When a DM says friend, it's somebody that wants to kill you.
I found a. Oh, I see. I see how that works now. I don't know if it was a unique scene. We walked into her study. She was sitting down to a meal with some of her advisors, as I recall. And I was like, I walked up to her, and then I was like, "Shh, it'll be okay." And then I cast silence, so she couldn't cast any spells, and started wailing on her with a hammer until she died.
Well, the thing is,
Nailed it.
you actually didn't kill her, and she escaped the place.
What?
She escaped the hunting lodge.
I'm gone for one episode, and you guys let her get away.
No, but like this. Wait 1 second. Just there's more to it. She escaped. Your party barely survived a 4. No, it was 6 or 4. I think 6 arm troll. It was.
It wasn't one episode. You'll go for like 10.
But yeah, but that happened right after I left, so I was gone for one episode.
She
effectively.
fucking
She
cast
bullshitted.
dimension.
Okay, we brought her down, and she rolled a net 20 to get up, and then like she just ran out the door.
That, by the way,
No, she cast dimension door.
yeah, that was out when she dropped out.
Yeah,
of,
she ran out that dimension door. That's totally what I meant.
the most funny thing about it is that that was the first in any of the streamed 5e games. No, it was one in Honor Bound. Literally 2 20s that I rolled on the death saving throw. One in Honor Bound, one in here. That's it for like 30 something weeks and more of D&D 5e played. 2 death saving throws on a 20. Nonetheless, she survived and you took over the lodge. And nonetheless, you were disguised pretty well as Dragon Wings because you got the robes from several occultists you've killed before. And you saved a couple of people from here and found out that there was a flying castle. Yes, you heard me right, a flying citadel in Parnast. That was named Parsnip, yes.
Parsnip.
Yes, Parnast. And besides that, you wanted to find it. You wanted to find the priest whose name I can't remember right now, the one that escaped. So you went after her. You started going through the woods, and you found a cave. Before that, you found a campsite with her only companion, the only other guy that survived. Her throat slit, his horse left there, saddlebags emptied, and you followed the path going on for an ominous cave. Inside of the cave, you fought an Oni, a blue ogre, extremely powerful. And that Oni almost took you down with the spells cast by the cleric. You guys were in the end spared by her.
We were speared.
You were speared by her. Only character who was actually alive was Justin's character, but Justin was not there. He was being NPC'd by the party. And the party decided that at that point when everybody was dead and Justin couldn't do anything, Brutus, who was Justin's character, would actually agree to terms to actually talk and not kill her. Well, try, because she was not damaged at that point yet. Brutus, what do you feel about those actions? Would you have done that?
No, I would have cast silence and wailed on her again. Like, it worked once.
You had no spell slots left.
Yeah, you usually used all
you
of your spell
were
slots.
empty.
You were
had
as
nothing
empty
left.
as...
We
Brutus
drained
never
you.
left.
We sucked you dry like a
Brutus
leaf.
never lets that
Well,
happen. Brutus always keeps a spell slot in reserve, just in case.
No.
Well,
We drained
Brutus didn't do
dry.
that. Justin does that, but Brutus never did that.
Hmm.
Because that's what happens when you leave the show.
We fucked with your character, boy.
I didn't know that you guys have been playing Brutus. That's
It'll
really
never be
that's
the
interesting.
same.
Yeah, it was
Would you rather let Chucky play him?
No, I don't think anyone else can play Brutus correctly because
Exactly.
he's selfish, but he understands that he needs other people to help. So it's a fine line. It's a fine line.
Nonetheless,
He's also incredibly intelligent.
it was kind of between. So you were quite on the same terms with her because you let her survive one time and you spared her life, and then she spared your life. So you got to terms.
Wait, I didn't have sex with anyone, did I?
No.
I realized that should be the first thing okay, we're fine.
No,
I
let's
don't
go.
think
I-
we-
Neil's not in this group, so it's not probably a question I need to ask, but I wanted to check.
Hey,
So that's what Neil
Anything
does
can
when his
happen,
players
anything
leave.
can happen.
Okay, so you guys came to terms with her, and we decided to infiltrate Skyreach on the only common goal of killing Resmir, the black half-dragon. So that was your common goal, and now we find ourselves in episode 8, the episode we are in right now. So let's talk a bit about what happened in the Castle in the Clouds. I think actually Isa had the biggest part to play in the Castle of the Clouds. Isa?
What?
Meeting with the Sky Giants, doing the whole vampire encounter. So let's start at first through the description, and let's go for the map. So what do we have? That Skyreach Castle. There we go. So everybody could see this. You guys managed to infiltrate the whole courtyard and claim to be dragon wings. There's for the flight of Skyreach back to home base. And that's kind of what they started to do with you still on it, and you scouted out everything. Eventually meeting up with a priest that you you made an alliance with. She gave you a bit of information. Found out that in the belly of the beast, in the belly of the mountain, quite literally, there is a huge white dragon sleeping over a frozen pile of Hoard. All of the Hoard gathered by this particular branch of the dragon cult, which is the biggest one, but not the only one, as you guys found out. This is only one of the main supply lines, but there are many others throughout the Sword Coast and the whole of the Forgotten Realms.
Brad, just so you know, for that dragon's purposes, we're trying not to fuck with that thing, because it's probably going to kill us if we do. So if you could like kindly refrain from just going ahead and charging it for the party's sake, I'd be pretty grateful for that.
All right, I will agree to that, but I don't know if Captain Ward Buckler can. Because he literally doesn't exist yet.
We'll see. We'll see about it. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see. Yeah. If there's one thing I know so far about this entire campaign, it's that dragon. So, yeah, carry on.
So you guys started scouting out. You saw Resmir. You saw Bornfrey, the high priest from Castle Neritar, and you eventually found out a lot of places where several important people were at. Let's talk about Isai's encounter with a Sky Giant. Isai, what happened with the Sky Giant? And this is your latest character, I think, Alexander.
Yep. He'll rip in this session, trust me, Chucky. Don't worry.
Okay.
Oh, you had to make a new character. I haven't met your new character.
Yeah, you have.
No, because didn't you die in the fight with her? With your polearm character died, right?
No.
No, this is the poem character. It's alive.
This is still Alexander.
Okay, I'm just crazy then. We're fine.
Okay, so I challenged one of the giants to a fight, thinking that there's going to be something behind a door. And he opens the door and comes out to try and fight me, and I just blink past him, go through the door, and then just start running up the stairs away from him.
Followed by another giant.
Yep. And I managed to make it in time.
Yeah, and you...
talk a few things out with another giant.
With the Sky Giant. The Sky Giant who actually controlled this whole thing. It seemed like the Sky Giant, the Crow Giant, sorry, not the Sky Giant. The Crow Giant himself seemed to not actually be a very big ally of the whole of the Dragon Cult, but more he was using the cult to reawaken passion in the hearts of his people. He thought that the reawakening of Tiamat and the threat of a new Dragon Empire would be enough to awaken the Sky Giants, to Crow Giants, to rally back into an actual power as they were before and back in time, and fight against the dragons once again to save the Sword Coast. So that's kind of what you found out. He gave you permission to go and do anything you want here, but not fuck with the final destination of this whole ship. And the guy, he set a guard on you, a half ogre that's kind of following you wherever you go. And he has given you a couple of tips to have over himself. He's been quite helpful, telling you about the Shattered Tower. Another thing that I want to mention: this whole castle that you guys see here, it's completely made out of ice. Everything, literally everything, is made out of ice.
Free stocks, no items, final destination. Got it.
And
Play Smash knows that.
I don't get that reference. So people who go,
Nope, you suck. You suck.
you said that
the
before.
joke
It's
either,
cool.
Simon. You make a bad joke, okay?
He
It
said Final
happens.
Destination. I just thought of Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Melee.
Super Smash
Whatever.
Bros.
I've seen like
I've
Final
never played those
Destination
games.
5.
Why? It's so good. Missed
No,
out
no,
on
it's
something.
I don't have any of that Nintendo Shazam consoles.
You haven't sold your soul to the devil yet? I'm surprised.
No, not yet. I heard that they print money and they don't need mine. So.
So you guys entered the Shattered Tower, one of the 4 towers over on here, exactly this one, and climbed up to the highest level because there were no stairs, fought vampire spawn, and the end to actually find the vampire himself. An extremely powerful creature, as you later found out, whose coffin cast a darkness spell that you guys could not see through. And the creature itself was the first legendary creature you fought, and he wrecked you quite hard for the first couple of rounds, until Alexander came up with a brilliant plan.
No, it wasn't me, Jackie. I don't even know.
It was you. It was you. Alexander went to the
It
coffin,
was so silly.
dragged it
Wait, you were there.
to the balcony,
Justin, were you?
dragged it to the balcony, and threw the coffin off the balcony. And the prior knowledge that Rostani cast a fireball and melted the above, like the ceiling overhead of the vampire lair.
It's just that who is so arrogant to place their coffin on the top of a tower of a meltable structure who can literally just melt and it can suddenly just pours in like.
Yeah, but he has like
I mean, he has a
He has,
whole
like,
army.
Who can be so
He has
arrogant?
anti-fun trap, which makes everything darkness.
Yeah. Also, and if
Well, yeah, like that's a contingency, really. If you think about it, whatever.
Anti-fun trap.
if you think about it, again, there was a full, like, you literally infiltrated this whole place. Like, there's a whole army of enemies inside of this place, and you guys managed to avoid all of them.
So I got a question. Check you. Do you
Yes.
remember the wand that I got?
The Wand of Winter, yes.
Does casting, if you cast a spell that requires concentration from a wand, does it still require concentration from the caster? That's what I want to know.
Good question.
I think it does, but I'm not 100% how that works actually, because I've never used a wand before in 5e.
I think it still does. It doesn't. I think the only benefit from it is that you don't expend your slot.
Yeah, I think so too.
So let's go with that.
It seems unbalanced otherwise.
Yeah, it seems like you could have two very powerful AoE spells. By the way, Justin, you're muted.
I could have a wall of fire and like a wall of ice. Like
You still have to
if I want.
maintain concentration.
Yeah. So
Okay, so you guys killed a vampire, and after you killed the vampire, it was middle of the day. The people outside saw you throwing basically a 20-foot radius darkness ball down the side of the whole wall, and you guys are back into the Shattered Tower, and we start our episode with you guys hearing noises coming from the entrance, the door that you came through to get in here.
Am I damaged in any way? Or can I just assume I'm at full health?
No. For the purposes, it's been so long, I don't know how much you've been damaged, but we'll say
I
that
was
everybody.
not damaged last time. I clearly remember I didn't take a single.
Yeah, you were
was-
behind. You were behind.
I
I
was
know.
damaged, but I healed myself up for a lot.
Put it like this. Brutus and Alexander will say that you guys are at half HP. And besides that, we'll just put it at, because I remember it was starting not being hit, but I don't know what you guys were at. Let's put it at you, and I clearly remember Brutus using all of the spell slots because he didn't even have any heals at the end.
No, he didn't use it all this time.
He used it all this time because he healed.
Because he healed me, like, and it just managed to save my life. It
Yeah,
was, like,
but he
1 HP
remember
literally
that
1
he
HP from
healed
insta-death.
well a lot because Robert lost max HP and Robert lost a lot. Like Robert was the main target besides you. Like the first 4 rounds,
Yeah, you know,
the first 4 rounds, the only reason Robert survived was the fact that Justin was healing him. That's it.
See, I would never have done that. I only heal people when they're actually down because it's more efficient. Depending on the initiative order.
Oh, but Justin, did you know that the vampire, when it puts you down with its bite attack, it instantly kills you?
I did not know. Well, I might have known that. I would have had to roll a knowledge check.
Yeah, that was very close for an instant death. Nonetheless,
So,
Those are my 2 spells, Chucky, by the way.
no, yeah, I'll
Alright.
thank you.
So you just.
Well, if that's the case, then Brutus takes a nap.
Like, I was 1 HP from insta-death.
So you start taking a nap when you know you've alerted the whole fortress of something.
Yeah.
Which
get
was
the
some-
fuck out of here, people.
As you guys take to think about it, you see somebody coming inside of the room.
I mean,
They have
A
a shield.
gnome.
Oh,
What
is
is-
it Jenna?
What does this gnome look like, Brad?
Oh, Captain Buck.
He is fucking old. So like he's like really old, wrinkled, weathered. He scored an 11 hotness when I rolled for hotness. So old, but not like gross old. Like still kind of alright looking.
Sexy in a gruffy way.
The word you're
in
looking
a-
for is
in a
dignified. He says dignified.
dignified old, long grey hair, kind of just old, big armored, big shield. Like the shield is literally the same height as him. Long sword, big, ridiculously oversized sword for him as well. Just comes wandering in, gruff looking.
You can see in his hand a crumpled paper with a sign of a mechanical bird on it.
That's the good sign, right, Jackie?
Is that recognizable to us?
It's recognizable to you. Yes, it is
The
the.
Hoplo or something?
It is the sign. It is actually the mechanical bird given to you by the half-elf monk that originally gave you the mission, and told you that you can contact him with any dire news by using this.
Can I ask a couple of questions real quick?
Yeah, feel free.
First of all, how did they get into this castle? The whole thing?
The whole they dressed themselves as cultists and infiltrated the whole place. They basically stood around the entrance until somebody uttered the word, like the passing word, the passphrase, and cheated the system, kind of getting past the guardians using the word they just heard by whispering, by happenstance. And
It's not cheating the system. That's just
yeah,
you know.
and you've actually seen them like several days until now. They've been sweeping in the barracks where you have been sleeping as well.
I've seen them.
So is he wearing cloaks as well?
He's wearing cloaks of the dragon, yes, but
yeah, okay.
My
he's
other
happy.
question is because I don't actually know what all of your characters are in general, like class and races, just so that I know what I'm
Paladin.
looking at.
Paladin here. Justin is a cleric, and
I'm a
Rustani
guy wearing
is,
I'm a guy wearing plate mail.
Yeah.
Rustani
I could be
is
anything.
A wizard.
yeah, everybody is a human.
And everyone is a human.
Yes.
Human wizard. Except,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
Robert isn't there, but he would have been like in half orc. So
Yeah,
I was
well,
so
you know-
very
But
nearly
you
a
can't
human as well.
you can't call him a half orc. He'll get upset. He's an orc.
Oh, right.
Or
Right. He's very
Okay,
sensitive
so-
about that.
Captain Buckler, how do you react? Everybody seems to be quite surprised at seeing you.
I would just like to like meander up really and just be like, "Hey, how's it going?" Because they've just been through like a fucking
Yes.
war, right?
You have
and I've
been
just and I've just showed up at the end.
You've
it's like
shown
I've
up at
waited.
the end with that note that I told you previously what it said.
Oh god, yeah. Hang on, right.
I suppose while you're doing
was it
this,
like
I'll kind of turn to him, kind of turn back to the vampire, and just like try and like chop his head off with
Well, the
a
vampire's
sword or
not there,
something.
right? The vampire.
Yeah, you're starting hearing clamor. No, the vampire burned up because he was exposed
Oh,
to
did it-
sunlight.
Yeah, he's just
Did it
ash.
burn?
Yeah, he's Ash. Like
yeah.
he was exposed.
Damn it! I wanted that thing's head.
Yeah. Is there anything interesting in the room? I guess.
Give me a perception check because unless you spend like a very big amount of time searching around.
I just
I wanna
glance
push you,
around
too.
with a
I-
12 perception.
I kinda approach the gnome.
Okay.
Like just I take like I approach him and like I kind of go down to his his level. Like I'm going down like this. Like
I kind of look at Rustani. I'm like, that's racist.
By the way, Captain Buckrow, you literally got here minutes before you started hearing very many sounds of clamor coming from the outside towards this place.
How
Is
many?
there also like a half ogre or something outside?
How many people are left in the castle? Like how many have we gone through?
You have gone through only 3. You've
Oh, you
literally
only killed
killed vampire spawns and vampire.
Oh.
there's still a
Yeah,
lot.
what
of
happened to the
positions.
ogres? Can I assume that I kind of crept around this whole thing because I'm small?
Alright, alright.
Yeah. You literally stealthed your way through here. Also, yeah, another thing that you should guys you should remember. Thanks, Jeff, for reminding that.
heavy armor.
You guys
With your
met with your
disadvantage.
priestess once over on here, the one you made an alliance with, and she told you that she would meet you the midnight of the day you left a mark with a dagger in the ice wall near the dragon cave.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just putting that down there so you guys remember
Yeah.
because it's been so much time.
So can I hand the note over then to you're Rostani, right?
Yeah. I'll just
And are you a girl?
yeah.
Okay. Just in case I say something.
It's like so like I have.
You the
short
man,
black-
Rustani?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like short black hair, kind of like kind of bobbed, kind of thing. Like yeah, I wear the. I guess I'm wearing the
Dragon wing.
longest,
Dragon claw, sorry.
Is it dragon claw, or dragon soul?
Dragon claw, dragon soul is almost the highest level, and you don't have
Yeah.
dragon soul
We
yet.
wanted to get some of those, but we couldn't really.
You have only
Okay.
one dragon soul outfit.
Oh.
But I've been following these guys. I know who they are and who's who, right?
Yeah, you've kind of been they've
And
been
no
quite.
of us, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
So I'll
So-
I'll hand the note over and
I
just be like,
Look at it. Do I remember the symbol? Like, can we?
Yeah, you remember the symbol. I mean, it basically you still have the whole bird, like the bird itself. So I won't
Oh.
make you do any check itself because you never use this. You still have it.
So that guy pulled through for it. Wasn't that the guy I like who was like submerged into dirt?
Yeah,
Right?
it was the guy who was submerged into dirt.
Okay. The
But
guy who I poked with my stick a lot of times. I just smile.
it's the same note that you guys got actually, almost exactly the same that you guys got when you were sent on the mission originally.
I say, so you've been like how did you get in here? Like I assume you're here to assist us.
yeah, I'm here to assist. I crept in. I was on a similar sort of mission to you guys. So but my team, unlike yours, were entirely cut down, and I'm the only one left. So I've hurried on to find you, and yeah.
Oh, good. That means
Join-
you're the
join you
strongest
guys.
one.
A horn sounds outside 3 times.
Seems like there's no real time to discuss things, but yeah,
Well, my shield
oh.
is yours. And I lift
there's
my
a bunch
shield
of-
up
come with
to
us.
show how strong I am.
There's a bunch of ogres, right? Let's go kill some ogres.
You're
So
like,
to
you're
describe-
you're almost half dead, Brutus.
To describe a bit how this looks like, you're on the top of an ice tower, there are no stairs, and below there's about 70 feet until the only ledge that goes outside, and below that there's almost 100,
Guys,
even
it's-
more feet of darkness, complete and utter
All right,
darkness.
guys, it's time. It's
How do-
time
how
for
do
us
we get
to
up
fly.
here?
You
climb.
climbed up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
come
guys.
back down.
we're-
I don't see the
it's
problem.
a big drop. I don't think we can make it, but it's time for us to fly. All right.
Well, how do other people get up here?
The vampire
so
spawns have
vampire.
friends.
There's
Bats.
I guess they can fly, right?
Vampires
spawns
can climb like spider climb.
And remember, they can turn into bats.
Okay. So, but if we kill all the vampire spawns, then aren't we safe up here? Like, how are the ogres gonna get up here?
You saw, so put it like this: you literally flew and met there, right? The crypt, like the sarcophagus of this creature outside. I mean, you've been around here. There are ogres and giants outside of here, guarding the whole place. You had a mark to actually even let you up in this place that you stole. No, actually, the priestess ally that you had gave to you, but you've never seen any dragon claw come up here. Only dragon souls.
Looking outside, kind of thing. Like, if I look down, are there like people rallying up the tower, or like how's like?
You see a lot of ogres moving from the balcony or the other way around. So you can't see the entrance from the balcony, but you can see the other way around. So basically to the other side of the tower, without being obvious that you're there. The giants, there are actually the 2 rock giants. Only one of them is moving. One seems to still be staying square in front of the stealing tower. And there's a lot of ogres moving about. You don't know exactly where. Your friend, the half ogre, not friend, but more bodyguard, comes inside and says, "The fuck you did here? Caused quite a clamor outside. I reckon all of the towers will be over here in front, waiting for us to come out."
Is there like
We have an ogre friend?
No.
half ogre
friend?
who's like
Friend.
He was he was a supervisor. He was sent by this crowd giant that you talked to make sure that you're not fucking with the steering system. Or anything like that.
The steering system is our highest priority right now. Well, I mean, unless there's like some kind of secret back door, like going, because I imagine this tower going like down as well, right? It's like
Yeah, it goes.
like,
There are hundreds of feet of darkness, of ice and darkness going below.
I mean, unless you want to be like have a leap of faith and like just because I mean
Before
I could.
we leap of faith, could Brutus light up a pebble and just throw it down there?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You light a
much would it-
pebble, it falls down. It goes about 170 feet from up here where you are right now, down below. 70 feet until the ledge and 100 more. And there's actually a ground floor over on there.
What are the odds that we could say this was just an argument about quarters and we won? We just wanted his quarters and now we can take a nap.
It's nice and
I mean,
cold up here.
it would actually be in. I mean, kind of.
We made some
accordance
adjustments.
with like because we're basically cultists of Tiamat, her. So like we're kind of like we took what we wanted. We took what we wanted and we got it.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think we can totally say that we live here now and we just did some renovations and there's a skylight and we just wanted we wanted to sunbathe.
Until
when they get
take off
here-
our masks, and
when
then
they get
realize
here,
they're
just-
the bad guys.
When they get here, just whoever has the highest charisma, just tell them that. I'm gonna take a nap. Brutus really does take
Oh
a nap.
god, I think that's me.
Oh, fucking hell, you guys are stupid.
So
They're
so
not
what?
gonna let you sleep here. They're gonna kill you. That was one of the oldest members of the dragon cult, older than Rasmir.
Well, and we took him out, so aren't we more valuable? I mean, technically.
What if I told you I was 350
Is it-
years old?
Isn't the cult of Tiamat
Is that
all
old
about
enough?
the cult of
800
Tiamat's?
years.
The cult of Tiamat's all about might makes right, right? So we're mightier, so we were right.
My boss told me that some of you, looking especially at Rostani and at you, Brutus, have people who've seen you here before. What do you think they're gonna react? Do you think not everybody in here will know about you in the next few hours?
Fucking born free.
You might be heroes for a couple of minutes before they drag you to the gallows or throw you off the castle itself.
I'm wearing a cloak, right? I always have a cloak on me. How do they know who I am?
I mean, it's because the guy born afraid that we fought in Castle Narator, he escaped and he's here now.
Oh.
So, like, he could actually.
Oh,
put
that's
us out.
right. That's right. You let them get away. I forgot. My mistake.
Hey now.
And I think we can actually talk about more about this and see what happens with the party after the break. So we're gonna have a small break, 2-3 minutes, and coming right back up with more Hoard of Dragon Queen. See you guys in a bit.
Alright.
Have we found the stuff?